The Republic of Korea Navy, also known as the ROK Navy, is the naval warfare service branch of the South Korean Armed Forces, responsible for conducting naval operations and amphibious landing operations. The ROK Navy includes the Republic of Korea Marine Corps, which is a quasi-autonomous organization. Established in 1945, the ROK Navy is the oldest branch of the South Korean Armed Forces. Since the Korean War, the ROK Navy has concentrated its efforts to building naval forces to counteract the North Korean Navy, which has littoral naval capabilities. As South Korea's economy grew, the ROK Navy was able to build larger and better equipped fleets to deter aggression, to protect national maritime rights, and to support the nation's foreign policy. As a part of its mission, the ROK Navy has engaged in several peacekeeping operations since the turn of the 21st century. As of 2015, the ROK Navy has about 70,000 regular personnel, including 29,000 Republic of Korea Marines. In addition, there are about 180 commissioned ships in service with the ROK Navy, including about 15 submarines, 130 surface combatants and patrol vessels, 10 amphibious warfare ships, 10 mine warfare ships, and 20 auxiliary ships. The Naval Aviation Force consists of about 70 fixed-wing and rotary-wing aircraft. The ROK Marine Corps has about 400 tracked vehicles, including self-propelled artillery. The ROK Navy aims to become a blue water navy by 2020. Duties and objectives. The main duties of the Navy shall be operations on the sea and landing operations, and the Navy shall be formed and equipped for that purpose and shall provide education and training necessary therefor. Act on the organization of national armed forces. The objectives of the ROK Navy as maritime forces for the national security are: establishing autonomous naval forces to deter war, securing maritime superiority to win war, promoting national interests through protection of maritime activities, enhancing the national prestige through naval presence. History. Origins. Korea has a long history of naval activity. In the late 4th century, during the Three Kingdoms period, Goguryeo defeated Berar, fielding amphibious forces of 40,000 men in the process. In the 9th century, Commissioner Chang Bo-go of Unified Silla established a maritime base called Cheonghae-jin on an island to foster trading with China and Japan, and to cope with pirates. In 1380, naval forces of the Goryeo dynasty defeated 500 invading Japanese pirate vessels by deploying shipboard guns. Devised by Choi Moo Sun, this is reportedly the first use of shipboard guns in naval history. In 1389 and 1419, Korean naval forces invaded Tsushima Island to suppress Japanese piracy. In the early years of the Joseon dynasty, the naval force reached its peak of 50,000 personnel, in order to combat the ongoing piracy issue. During the Japanese invasions of Korea, the Korean naval force commanded by Admiral Yi Sunshine, who later became the head of the Navy, cut off the invaders' naval lifeline and defeated the Japanese fleet, reversing the war in favor of Joseon. Admiral Yi is also credited with the creation of the turtle ship. By the end of 19th century, the Joseon Navy had no significant naval force other than coastal defense fortresses. Although there was an attempt to modernize the Navy by establishing a Royal Naval School, the Joseon Navy was brought to an end in 1895. In 1903, the government of the Korean Empire purchased its first modern warship, the Yangmu. Korean naval tradition was disrupted after Korea was annexed by the Empire of Japan in 1910. During the Japanese occupation period, the Imperial Japanese Navy built a naval base, Chinkaigar District in southern Korea. Founding years and Korean War. Shortly after Korea was liberated from the Empire of Japan on August 15, 1945, Son Won-yeol, a former merchant mariner and son of the independence activist Son Young-do, led the Maritime Affairs Association. which evolved into the Marine Defense Group on November 11, 1945, and later became the Korean Coast Guard, which was formed in Jinhae after the new Republic of Korea government was established on August 15, 1948. The Korean Coast Guard was formally renamed the Republic of Korea Navy, and so became the first Chief of Naval Operations of the ROK Navy on September 5, 1948. On April 15, 1949, the Republic of Korea Marine Corps was founded in Jinhae. In October 1949, the ROK Navy purchased a 600-ton submarine chaser, the former USPC-823, on the American civil market with funds raised among its personnel. She was renamed ROKS Bakjuzin, and became the first significant warship of the newly independent nation. The Korean War started with the North Korean Army's surprise attack on Sunday, June 25, 1950. The ROK Navy confronted threats from the North Korean Navy. Perhaps the most aggressive and effective, if smallest, member of the South Korean armed services during the first year of the Korean War was the Republic of Korea Navy. At the outset of the conflict, the 6,956-man ROKN, with 33 naval vessels of various types, was outnumbered by the 13,700 men and 110 naval vessels of the North Korean Navy, with its UN allies, dominated by U.S. forces. The ROK Navy was able to gain control in the seas surrounding the country. On July 27, 1953, the three-year-long war was brought to an end when an armistice agreement was signed. During the war, Australia, Canada, Colombia, Philippines, France, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Thailand, the United Kingdom, and the United States contributed naval vessels as UN allies. Denmark sent the hospital ship Jutlandia, Commander-in-Chief Republic of Korea Fleet. The highest operational command was established in September 1953. Building the Navy starting in the 1950s, the ROK Navy built up its surface fleet mainly with older warships transferred from the United States Navy. In May 1963, the ROK Navy acquired its first destroyer ROKS Chungmu, the former Urban, a Fletcher-class destroyer. Starting from 1972, 9 former USN Allen M. Sumner-class and Gearing-class destroyers were transferred and added to the ROK fleet inventory. During the Vietnam War, the ROK Navy dispatched a naval transport squadron called Bakgu, which was composed of 3 LSTs and 2 LSMs. The Republic of Korea Marine Corps sent into a combat brigade called Cheongnyong to Vietnam. On January 19, 1967, ROKS Dangpo, the former Martha, was sunk by North Korean coastal artillery north of the demarcation line off the east coast of Korea in June 1970. A Navy broadcast vessel was captured by North Korean patrol craft in the vicinity of Yeonpyeong Islands in the West Sea. In the 70s, the ROK Navy, through the Park Chung-hee administration's Yulgok Plan, began to build naval forces with indigenous technology. This initiated the ROK Navy effort to build a fleet of locally built ships. The first 2,000-ton frigate ROKS Sultan was launched in 1980 and the first 1,000-ton corvette ROKS Poang was launched in 1982, both featuring indigenous technology. The ROK Navy continued to carry out other new shipbuilding projects such as minesweepers, logistic support ships and amphibious landing ships in the 80s and 90s. In 1973, the Republic of Korea Marine Corps, once a separate branch of the armed forces, became a part of the Navy. Modernizing the Navy since the 90s, the ROK Navy has been steadily upgrading its naval forces. In 1995, Admiral An Pyong-tae, the Chief of Naval Operations, presented his plan for the future of the ROK Navy, which included building a blue water navy. As a part of a plan to strengthen the surface combatant forces, the ROK Navy launched the lead ship of the Gwanggaeto the Great class destroyer in 1996 to replace the former U.S. Navy destroyers. For building up a submarine force, the ROK Navy purchased its first submarine, the Changbogo, from Howaldswerke Deutsche Werft of Germany in 1992. In order to replace its antiquated S-2 Tracker anti-submarine warfare airplanes, South Korea purchased a squadron of P-3C Orion maritime patrol aircraft. These were delivered to the ROK Navy starting in 1995. Establishing a regional navy, the ROK Navy continues to put its efforts to build a blue water navy. In 2001, then-President Kim Dae-jung announced a plan for building up the strategic mobile fleet. In 2002, the lead ship of the 5,500-ton Chung-Mugong-yi Sunshine-class destroyer was launched. In 2005, the 18,800-ton amphibious landing ship ROKS Dokdo was launched. In 2006, the ROK Navy launched the lead ship of the 1,800-ton Sonwon-yeol-class submarine, which was named after the first Chief of Naval Operations, equipped with an air-independent propulsion system. In May 2007, the ROK Navy launched the lead ship of the 11,000-ton Sejong the Great-class destroyer, built around the American-made Aegis Combat System and the SPY-1D multifunction phased array radar. As a part of its mission, the ROK Navy participated in several peacekeeping operations since the turn of the 21st century. On March 26, 2010, ROKS Cheonan, a Pohang-class corvette, was sunk by a North Korean torpedo, resulting in death of 46 sailors near Bahrain Yeong Island, in the vicinity of the Northern Limit Line. Command and Organization. The Republic of Korea Navy includes the Republic of Korea Navy Headquarters, Republic of Korea Marine Corps, Republic of Korea Fleet, Naval Education and Training Command, Naval Logistics Command, and Naval Academy. The Chief of Naval Operations is the highest-ranking officer of the ROK Navy. Senior leadership as of October 2015. The following people were in office: Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Young Ho-sub, Commandant of the Republic of Korea Marine Corps, Lieutenant General Lee Sang-hoon, Commander Republic of Korea Fleet, Vice Admiral Hyun-sung, Superintendent of the Republic of Korea Naval Academy, Vice Admiral Kim Pan-gyu, Commander Naval Education and Training Command, Rear Admiral Jung Jin-sub, Commander Naval Logistics Command, Rear Admiral Kim Jin-hyung. Organization: Republic of Korea Navy Headquarters. The ROK Navy is led by the Chief of Naval Operations. The Republic of Korea Navy Headquarters located within the Jaeryonggi Complex. The Tri-Service Headquarters in Jaeryong includes the Office of the Chief of Naval Operations and various agencies and staff functions. The CNO is a 4-star admiral and a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The CNO oversees the administration of recruiting, organizing, training, equipping, supplying, and mobilizing the ROK Navy. Republic of Korea Fleet. The Republic of Korea Fleet is responsible for naval operations, and based at the Pusan Naval Base. ROKFLT also serves as Commander Naval Component Command of the ROK U.S. Combined Forces Command in peacetime, and as the Deputy Commander Combined Naval Component Command in wartime. The Republic of Korea Fleet has 3 numbered fleets, each assigned to the seas east, west, and south of South Korea. First Fleet, Maritime Battle Group 2, Intern Naval Sector Defense Command. Third Fleet, Maritime Battle Group 3, Jeju Defense Command. For various types of naval operations, the ROK Navy has a submarine force, 2 surface flotillas, a naval aviation force, a special warfare flotilla, and units for combat readiness and meteorology, oceanography under the command of Commander Rock Fleet. Submarine Force Command. Component Flotilla 5, Mine Warfare Squadron 52, Amphibious Squadron 53, Salvage Squadron 55, Ship Salvage Unit, Air Wing 6, Maritime Task Flotilla 7, Battle Training Group 8, Naval Special Warfare Flotilla, Maritime Intelligence Group. Numbered fleets. The three numbered fleets, each led by a rear admiral, are responsible for protecting the green water around South Korea. The first fleet is for the Eastern Naval Sector, the second fleet is for the Western Naval Sector, and the third fleet is for the Southern Naval Sector including Jeju Island. Each fleet mainly includes squadrons of patrol forces composed of Gwanggaeto the Great-class destroyers, Intern-class frigates, Ulsan-class frigates, Pohang-class corvettes, and Unyoung-ha-class and Chamshuri-class patrol vessels. Maritime Task Flotilla. When taking command of the Navy in 1995, Admiral An Byong-tae, then Chief of Naval Operations, proposed to build a blue water navy for the Republic of Korea. In the year 2001, President Kim Dae-jung announced a plan for creating a task force called Strategic Maneuver Fleet, which will protect national interests in the five oceans and contribute to world peace. As part of the plan, the ROK Navy established one task force commander, Maritime Task Flotilla 7, on February 1, 2010, which evolved from ASW Squadron 51 of Component Flotilla 5. The Maritime Task Flotilla is composed of 3 Sejong the Great-class Aegis-guided missile destroyers, and 6 Chung Mugong-yi Sunshine-class destroyers. The forces hope to be able to defend South Korea against any North Korean aggression, as well as being able to protect trade routes vital to the ROK. It is also designed to be able to suppress disputes or territorial spats using deterrence and, if necessary, force. Currently the flotilla is divided into 2 squadrons, one each stationed at bases in Busan and Jeonhee, respectively. When the new naval base at Jeju Island is completed in 2015, the ROKN will move newly commissioned vessels to the base to strengthen the fleet. In addition to combat operations, the ships of the flotilla performs humanitarian operations. A Chung Mugong-yi Sunshine-class destroyer of the task flotilla is being deployed in response to piracy attacks in shipping lanes off the coast of Somalia. Republic of Korea Marine Corps Naval Education and Training Command. The Naval Education and Training Command is one of the 2 major shore commands of the ROK Navy responsible for training. It is located in Jeonhee. Its primary role is to conduct the initial orientation and basic training for new recruits of the Navy and the Korea Coast Guard. The Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps are under the Naval Education and Training Command. Naval Logistics Command. The Naval Logistics Command is the other major shore command of the ROK Navy. It also operates the Naval Shipyard located in Jeonhee. Republic of Korea Naval Academy. The Republic of Korea Naval Academy is a 4-year coeducational service academy located in Jeonhee. It was established in 1946. Graduates are commissioned as ensigns in the Navy or second lieutenants in the Marine Corps. The Naval Academy also hosts the Officer Candidate School, which provides training to become commissioned officers for civilian college graduates and candidates with military experience. Location. The ROK Navy operates several naval bases in South Korea: Jeonhee, Busan, Donghae, Pyeongtaek, Mokpo, Incheon, Pohang. Naval air stations are in Pohang, Jeonhee, and Mokpo. Jeonhee has been the major port for the ROK Navy since the establishment of the Korean Coast Guard by hosting vital naval facilities, including the Naval Shipyard. Busan has become another major naval base for the ROK fleet since its command headquarters moved from Jeonhee in 2007. Donghae, Pyeongtaek, and Mokpo hosts the command headquarters of the 1st, 2nd and the 3rd Fleet respectively. in turn hosts a defense command under a one-star admiral responsible for littoral waters close to Seoul, the nation's capital. Pohang has a naval base for amphibious forces such as the 1st Marine Division located nearby. The ROK Navy also plans to build a new naval base on the southern coast of Jeju-do for basing a squadron of the Maritime Task Flotilla and 2 submarine squadrons by 2015. The ROK Navy plans to strengthen its control over the seas around the Korean peninsula by deploying these forces. Relationship with the U.S. Navy. South Korea has a joint military partnership with the United States as outlined by the Mutual Defense Treaty signed in 1951. Commander U.S. 7th Fleet is designated as Commander Naval Component Command for the defense of the Korean Peninsula. In the event of hostilities, all friendly naval forces in the theater would fall under C-7F control. Commander U.S. Naval Forces. Korea is a shore command of the United States Navy that serves as the shore support agency for all U.S. naval activity in South Korea. Commander Fleet Activities. Chinhe is a U.S. naval installation in Jinhe,